Funding for this video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to the first Monday of 2009.
So, it's getting real official in here. Oh, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you, failures. We are in the last moments of 2020. Welcome to 2022. Hi people, welcome to the video. Today we are going to be partaking in the annual year in review. For some context, hello, my name is Allie. I moved to Belgium when I was 21 to essentially start my life completely over and marry my now husband, and at the start of each year I set some goals and intentions to grow and rebuild my life and also reflect on the last 365 days as a whole. This is our 7th video of doing this, which is wild to me. And so for this video I looked back on every video past and I noticed that some trends have emerged, which of course we're going to discuss because I received a lot of fresh context for my life this year. But first, let's dissect 2022 as a whole. Let's cover some peaks and pits of the past year, some highs and some lows, if you will. Let's start with the pits. Let's just rip off the band-aid. I dropped out of college again. Yes, indeed, you are looking at a 2-time college dropout. It doesn't feel good, but we'll talk about it. After dodging the plague for over 2 years, both my husband and I finally came down with COVID during this past summer, which ate up the majority of the sunshine season, which sucked ass because I had just spent an entire academic year balancing school and work. You win some, you lose most. Am I right? Speaking of the woes that come alongside having a physical form, my health took quite a dive this past year. In the month of November alone, I came down with 16 separate migraines, and each time that happens, I can't really form sentences, I can hardly pronounce words without slurring them, and I can only see out of one of my eyes. But essentially the only pit of 2022 that didn't provide a when one door closes, another door opens kind of situation is physical health, which is undeniably a big one. But I'm still gonna take that as a win, right? For the most part, 2022 was a good one. So let's dive into the positives of this last year. I started my 7th year of eating plant-based, which has been great. My husband and I celebrated 6 years of being happily married, which means that I've lived in Belgium for over 6 years now. That is mind-boggling to me. I finally got to visit my family in Wisconsin after not leaving the country and not being able to see them for 3 years thanks to COVID. So good. I passed level 3 in Dutch and there are 5 total, so you can say that my Dutch has improved significantly. Ik kan het in verleden spreken en nu kan ik meestal mijn mail lezen. Mensen zeggen vaak tegen mij, oh wow, jouw Nederlands is so good, huh? And ik zeg, ja, ik heb veel gestudeerd. It's not perfect, obviously, but like forming sentences, that's impressive. I started to foster snails, and Lawrence and I were going for a walk this past January. I saw a couple of snails that didn't bury themselves for the cold season. They were drying up on a cement wall. They were in a dangerous pickle. So I brought them home. I got them a terrarium, and it has been delightful, to say the least. I love my snails. I love feeding them their favorite foods, which are cucumber and eggplant with a light cuttlefish bone dusting. I love finding plants from their natural habitat and redecorating the place for them, watching them explore. I think they're happy, and I love making them happy. I finally got a crucial diagnosis that I've been searching for essentially 10 years now. She's autistic. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. I think that the biggest accomplishment of 2022 for me personally was making all of this official. As of February 2022, I registered as self-employed, which means that Allison Pages is officially, legally a Belgian business. We pay taxes. A lot of taxes. We make invoices. We have a scheduled work day. This all just became legitimate, and that is huge because technically 2022 was the first year that I've been consistently employed. If you've been here for a hot minute, you've probably seen me fall in and out of jobs since moving to Belgium. Being told flat out that they wouldn't have hired me if they knew I was a sick person. You've seen it all unfold. So thanks to y'all, I'm able to feed my cats and pay my rent without constant fiscal stress. And I cannot thank you guys enough. And we'll get into that as well. Okay, let's get into it right now because that is a peak of this year. The support y'all provided in 2022 is completely unfathomable to me. It's entirely thanks to each and every one of you, whether you're watching this, you're on the Patreon, you're subscribed, that I can say drawing snails and mandrakes and frogs is my job. Making content, editing videos is my job. I read books for a living. What? Is not just just something I do in my spare time on the side. This is not a side hustle. This is the hustle. I'm just so passionate about what it is that we do here. I'm having so much fun. I love it so much. And the fact that so many of you love it as well, it's just such a special, amazing thing. I'm learning so much. I'm growing so much, all thanks to kindstrangersontheinternet.com, which is such an honor and a privilege, truly. Like for anyone, but especially being on the spectrum, being chronically ill. Like, do you know how high the percentages of disabled people who aren't able to work because of the confines and expectations and limitations and the lack of accommodations? The world isn't built for us, and that sucks ass. So I understand and recognize fully how special this is, how rare this is, how fucking magical this is, and I can't thank you enough. I just wanted to dedicate a section of this video to you watching this because I appreciate you. I promise to not take this for granted in 2023 or ever. Now I would like to dive into some of the trends that I saw pop up in the last 6 years of these videos. The first theme that emerged is an obvious one, and that is mental health. Misdiagnosis that I got, obvious mismedication. This really stood out to me because there were several misdiagnoses that were thrown my way, some of which were handed to me from doctors that I saw for 15 whole minutes. And claiming those diagnoses is not only inaccurate, but extremely dangerous.
Misdiagnoses are dangerous. Stereotype threat is real.
And so I fell down a rabbit hole of mostly women who were handed these wrong diagnoses and that they just ended up being on the spectrum in the end. And I knew that autism ran in my family, and I brought this information to my doctor at the time, and they said to me, "You're not autistic." And I know that because you're making eye contact with me.
Not all of us can be neurotypical, Kara. As some of you don't know, I suffer from a panic disorder and bipolar disorder.
Now, she does indeed have a panic disorder. That cannot be denied. But girl, you're not bipolar either. Ugh. These are just these annual videos, but there are so many things that pop up across every video I've ever made. Like me freaking out about dough being stuck to my fingers. I hate kneading stuff. I don't like when stuff gets stuck to my fingers. Stuck to my fingers. Stuck to my fingers. Stuck to my fingers. Not a neurotypical response. It's just so enraging that nobody listened to me for years, or rather that nobody took me seriously for years. Read Unwell Women if you'd like to know more and become enraged with me. In order to understand everything and follow an accurate treatment plan, I need a diagnosis, and I don't have one. At this point from this clip, I knew for a fact that the jig was up. I had all of my suspicions. I was on a very long waiting list, but I still couldn't say anything yet because I didn't feel comfortable and I just wanted to be sure, and existing online is a freaky thing. But after 10 years of trying to find answers, the majority of the symptoms that I experience are just because I was not accommodating for myself as an autistic person.
But according to my doctor, I'm still rapid cycling, so there's a lot of work to do.
But I was not rapid cycling because I wasn't bipolar. It was this doctor that I'm mentioning that had me track my moods. And when I did this for a year, he literally said, "I can't place you in any bipolar category. You don't fit any of these categories." But then continued to prescribe and increase the bipolar medication that he was prescribing me. I was in bipolar, I was just miserable because I wasn't following a routine or celebrating my special interests or accommodating for overstimulation. I wasn't manic, I just have trouble connecting to my sensations of my body and my moods. So it's hard for me to discern whether I'm hungry or sleepy, and so I struggle with eating and sleeping. I wasn't manic, I just get more easily excitable than most people I know. And I think that's great. I like that about myself. And under no circumstances am I saying that this isn't a disability. It has obviously held me back in many realms of my life. I don't have a college degree. I barely made it out of high school. Like, I had great grades, but attending every single day, exhausting. So much lack of attendance. There are a lot of things that I don't celebrate about this, but it seemed as though for a very long time I was told that a lot of aspects of myself that are actually strengths were wrong, and that just sucks. The most in your face, how did you not know that this was a situation moment, was on my doctor, and he said, "What was it you said helped you the most in balancing your health?" And I said, "Oh, I got my sleep on schedule, which was super crucial, and I was eating 3 meals a day at like a very particular time, just basically getting that whole routine solidified." And he said, "And what was your biggest issue with working in the most recent restaurant you were in?" And I said, "Oh, they gave us our hours super late. It just really messed with my routine." So he said, "So you would say that you are someone that thrives on routine?" And I said, "Yep." Duh. I know you can't change the past, but I just wish that past me had more belief in herself, had more strength and the ability to advocate for herself and her health, because I was very much just bopping along unproductively to doctors and taking their diagnoses and pocketing them without thinking twice. You're a doctor. You told me to take this medicine. You're a doctor and you give medicine, and medicine helps. And it's very easy for me to assume that other people know what's best for me. So that's definitely the biggest goal of 2023, is to pause and check with myself more, because even even in the past few months, accommodating for myself has been life-changing. However, please let me say this. I've only known for certain that I'm on the spectrum for a few months now. I'm not an expert on the subject. This is also new to me. It has been very validating. It's a super mega giant privilege that so many people don't have the option for, but it's also been extremely overwhelming. So please allow me time to process all of this new information. If hearing me talk about my experience is helpful, that is wonderful, but that is all I can offer you. If you have questions about yourself and you're struggling with things yourself, please reach out to a loved one or your doctor, not a stranger on the internet who does not know you. You deserve better than that. And the next one is reading.
But this year, as weak as it sounds, I was able to read 2 books. This year, I read 8 books. These are the 10 books that I read this year. I read 18 books in 2019.
This year I read over 80 books, like 81 or 83 books or something. This year I read 103 books. I am in my best headspace when I am within a book. This year I read a little over 150 books. This has easily been the cutest thing to watch grow, because if it's not abhorrently obvious, books are my special interest. But I obviously didn't know that until this year. The more time that I put into reading books, researching books, organizing my books, looking at my books, that's my happy place. I can just feel myself blossoming into my true form, you know?
I'm gonna try weekly YouTube, and it's definitely my goal to continue doing YouTube. I'm just happy to be continuing. Ever since I was, when did I start? I was 11, I think, when I started making YouTube videos. 14 years.
This year, I really buckled down on making videos. 30 videos uploaded, I think. That's not bad, man, not bad. Started this year with 5,000 subscribers, and now we're almost at 18,000. That is so many people. As of right now, December 20th, 2022, we sit at 28,849 subscribers. Did I just get a pang of nausea? Yes, I did. This is something that I have loved and had passion for since I was a child, and I have done it for free for over 15 years, just to show you how much I just love doing it. And obviously, blowing up is not the goal. I make stuff just because of how much joy it brings me and how much joy it brings other people. Is she an influencer? I don't know, maybe, if that influence is to influence you to read more books and wear comfy clothes and relax when you can. If that influence is to take it slow and focus on your own timeline, great, sure, call me an influencer, baby. But I realized that this is my way of communicating in the most effective way, but also in the way that makes me the most comfortable. I struggle in social situations, like a lot. It just feels like I do every single one wrong. And YouTube gives me this kind of control over talking and expressing myself that I cannot have in real life in real time. And so to cultivate and nourish this community that makes me feel understood, but also helps me better understand myself, and to be nourished right back through all of that, is fucking magical. Like, holy shit. Like, what a special thing that is. I just love my job. Like, I really love my job. Going off of that, Patreon.
You've helped me bring some form of income into our family, which makes me feel so much less worthless. I celebrated my Patreon's first birthday. 1 whole year. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Thanks to all of you. I hit my first Patreon goal, which was to hit 50 patrons, and we've surpassed that. And at the beginning of this year, the Patreon was at about 50 people, and now it's over 300 people. We don't have to grow anymore or make any more progress from here. Like, I genuinely, like, I made it. As of today, there are 789 people on the Patreon right now who joined this book club, who donate their hard-earned money to keep this cozy corner of the internet alive. I still don't make any money on youtube.com. I don't have AdSense. If there's an ad on a video, it's because I did a silly little dance to a silly little copywritten song. But what a blessing in disguise. Am I right? I've known that I've wanted to work with videos and be an editor since I was a child. I used to steal my family's camcorder when I was 6 years old, when I wasn't supposed to, and create these little short somethings with my sisters and my neighbors, and then I would edit it together in the camcorder, and then we would have to delete it before the morning because we weren't allowed to take the camcorder. And one time I forgot to delete it, and I came downstairs to my parents and some of my neighbors' parents sitting down on the couch to watch what we made. And I thought I was gonna get in so much trouble, but then I saw how excited everybody was and how it brought everyone together. I knew that that kind of community and coming togetherness was a magical thing that I would love to keep a part of my life as long as I was allowed to. And so if I could go back in time and tell 6-year-old me that that is what I would be doing, and that I have hundreds of adorable, kind, and funny bosses that I get to talk to every day, she wouldn't believe her ears. And I know for a fact that she wouldn't, because I can't believe my ears right now. So thank y'all once again for making my dreams come true. All right, so we've made it. Let's go over the goals that I set for myself last year. Hi 2023 me, how are you doing? Hi past me, I'm thriving. I'd like to know if you're a Belgian citizen yet. Okay, I'm allowed to apply for citizenship. I did all of the things. It's just that becoming a citizen is bureaucratic detail, to say the least, but we are working on it. Maybe by next year I'll have 2 passports. I'm really hoping in 2022 that you visit your family at least once. You did. You went for 3 weeks in September. Oh, you poor sad little Passimi. You'll see them soon, I promise. Speaking of visiting, did you meet Kirsty in real life yet? This is so cute to me. I completely forgot that I said this. And oh my god, yes you did. She visited in August and you guys hung out and danced in the rain and got tattoos together. I love friendship. What I'm gonna work towards this year is doing the splits and doing a handstand. Just 11 months ago, Belgium was still pretty deep in the lockdown situation. So I set these goals so then I would have something to work towards in the comfort of my own home. But since then, gyms reopened. I'm able to leave my house and move my body, which is my favorite thing to do. So yes, the goals have changed, but I can do the leg extension machine and the leg press machine at 145 pounds. My endurance for cardio has increased significantly. I hate running. In past videos, we talked about running. I don't like running. It doesn't make me feel good, but I do enjoy a speed walk at a high incline. My heart and lungs have gotten so much stronger. I have so much more energy day to day. And I know you hate to hear it. I know because I hated hearing it. Move your body in a way that you like. Don't force yourself into wiggling in ways that others are wiggling if that's not how you want to wiggle. If you want to do a dance video at home, do that. If you want to go for a daily little walk, do that. Every second that I spend sweating on a machine is 1 second that I don't lose to a panic attack or a meltdown or cry fest. Every hour that I'm in the gym, it feels like that's an added hour to my sleep. I know that bodies and numbers and everything, it can be so icky so fast. Just know I have no idea if I've gained or lost weight. I don't care. The numbers that I do care about are seeing the weights increase on the cool things I can do with my legs. The numbers surrounding my physical performance are numbers that I can very much healthfully connect to and celebrate, and that's great. Please tell me you incorporated music into your life more. Oh, music. I'm gonna be honest. No, I haven't done this. Every single year, this is the trend. I set some kind of music goal and then I don't fulfill it. I think the biggest reason is that Lawrence and I both work from home. I live in an apartment. It just doesn't hit the same. So I know that that's a seemingly silly reason, but it is my reason nonetheless. So I hope you're carrying around a sketchbook and just doing little sketches. I feel like that will help you find your style. I haven't done a lot of sketching for fun, but I did get back into collage making. And then also through the Patreon, I have gotten a lot more familiar with Procreate, and I think my art style has very much grown. I definitely did more art this year than I've done in the past 6 years, so I'm very proud. Branching off of that, I really want to find a way to create physical merchandise for the people. And I want to use said merchandise to give back, so then other people can be nourished the way that I was nourished thanks to my community. 28-year-old me, do we have a merch store? A charitable merch store? Ooh, dreams. Oh my god. We did this. Oh my god, I forgot that I set this as like a goal, but we did this. I worked at the company and I released a crew neck with the cats on it for spring, and we donated a chunk of the proceeds to Cats in Ukraine. And then I made a snail shirt in the summer and donated a chunk of those proceeds to an autistic network in the United States. These 2 shirts were test runs to see how the process worked, and they went very well. So thank you to everyone who got a shirt this past year. I haven't reopened either of these campaigns because the size inclusivity on this website is not as great as I would like. I cannot wait to see what's in store for 2023 in regards to this. I have ideas. Show me your new tattoos. Show me this naked part that's no longer naked. What else did you get? Update me. Okay, so we filled that area out. There is a bee on your elbow now. You also semi-impulsively went and got some mushrooms on your shin to celebrate finishing your first semester of finals in Belgium. And you got a frog on your thigh, which is probably my favorite tattoo. And you and Kirsty got little leaks to celebrate one of y'all's favorite books. Holy smokes, 28-year-old me. You're in your 2nd year of your bachelor's. First of all, how did your first year of university go? I'm so excited for you. Okay, well, all of your philosophy classes you did well on. However, there were 2 math requirements for your degree, and those 2 classes you spend your most time on. You get a tutor for one of them, you join study groups, you've spent hours and hours and hours practicing. You really busted your ass on these classes, okay? I'm gonna tell you. You didn't fail because you didn't try. You can at least say that. But despite your best efforts, you still did so poorly on both of those. And in the university that you are currently enrolled in, if you fail a class twice, you get kicked out. You just can't continue your studies anymore. So you really had to have a heart-to-heart with yourself to determine what the next step is. Are you going to invest another year of your life in this degree that you might not even be able to get? Let's be honest, you most likely wouldn't get because you can't do math, girl. I love you, but you can't do math. So you would lose a whole year just to end up in the same spot you were in right now. Or drop out again, go back to Dutch classes, and focus almost exclusively on work. I chose the latter, obviously, and I'm so glad I did, because shortly after doing so, when I did all those tests for autism, I found out that it is more than dyscalculia. You know the stereotype of when you're on the spectrum, you're really good at some things and you're completely useless at others? Oh my god, she's embarrassingly useless at math. There's no overcoming this. No amount of tutors, no amount of money, no amount of time, no amount of prayer is gonna help you, sweetheart. You're doomed to fail. And that's okay, you're in the top percent when it comes to reading and words, and that's why this is your job. So I'm so proud of you for deciding to stick with what you're passionate about, where your strengths are. That's amazing. That's a win. Did I cry?
Guess who failed stats? I shouldn't have even tried.
So much. Oh, we cried so much.
I wasted so much time. I wasted so much time.
Because scholastic failures are my weak point. I did fall down a rabbit hole of beating myself up for not being able to do what everyone else is able to do.
And if I can't pass this class, I can't get my degree. And now I feel stupid for even thinking I could get my degree.
Do I hate that I don't have a degree? Yes. But do you judge anybody else for not having one? No. So maybe apply that to yourself.
That's that.
And so instead last year I focused on my strengths. I put all of my time and effort into creating, so much more focus and energy into the editing process, so much more time in each design. And so naturally I'm doing so much better than I was at this time last year as far as confidence and self-assurance and fulfillment is concerned. Did you hit your 365-day Duolingo streak? I had a 150-day streak and it went down the drain after getting COVID because the plague happened. We should be able to send in doctor's notes for these Duolingo streaks. Did you organize your hard drive? No, I haven't, I'm sorry, but I do have a more organized system when it comes to digital files and I'm implementing that now, so don't worry, we've improved. I get half a point for this. Half a point for us. Have you found a name for your chronic illness yet? Oh boy, no, not yet. I'm working on that too. Have you found a name for your mental illness yet? It's not a mental illness, but the symptoms you're looking to remedy mostly all stem from you being on the spectrum. Girl, you're autistic. Congratulations. That was 2022. What a time. What a year. I really thought that not that much happened, but so much self-discovery unfolded, which is so huge and hard to do. Mostly the energy for 2023 is to continue nourishing all of these roots that I've planted over the years. So hi 2023 me, how are you doing? You're 29 now. Hell yeah. 1 year away from being 30, flirty, and thriving. Let's discuss. Most importantly, are you still using iMovie? Are you still using iMovie? I got us an Adobe Premiere package deal for the love of Zeus. I get it, you're loyal. You've been using iMovie since you were a child. It's time to move on. It's time to grow. In 2022, you learned how to knit and you're thinking of trying crocheting. Which is your favorite of the two? What have you made? Oh my god, let me show you what I've made so far. You're gonna laugh. Bookmark thing. And also, you made this little supposed to be rectangle. Have you figured out your edges yet? You accidentally were adding stitches without realizing it for a bit there. There are some holes in this. I don't know what happened here, but look at this. This was a ball of yarn and now it's this little thing that you drape over the back of your toilet and put candles on. You made this. Show me why I should be unimpressed with this. What have you made this year? Your lease is ending soon. Have you been looking at apartments? Have you moved already? Do you have your own office creation space? Do you have a room that is just yours? It's getting a little cramped in here with you and Lawrence both working from home. I'm curious how that's going. Do you still have 2 cats? Did you adopt a third? Do you have a dog? Curious. Earlier this year, you were looking into this 2-year digital illustration program curriculum thingy. And you also found an online comic class. Did you do either of these things? Overall, I would just love to hear your art journey of 2023. Show me the collages you've made. Show me any new things you may have tried. Just show me it all. Do you still go to the gym? Tell me about all of your accomplishments. How many subscribers do you have? I sit in between 28 and 29K at the present time. That's so many people. How's Patreon going? What's your favorite book that you read this year for the book club? Do you have a favorite bookmark that you designed? Show me. How many books have you read this year? I hope it's a lot, but I also hope that you found a balance between this intense interest that you have and your other hobbies. Show me your tattoos from this year. I know that you have an appointment to get a really big sternum piece within the next couple of months. I am so terrified for you, but you've already done it. Thank God. I don't want to be me right now. I want to be you. Remember, pain is temporary, but sexy is forever. Do you have a name for your chronic illness yet? Have you found anything that helps you? Because right now you kind of got nothing. And finally, did you join a choir? Every now and again you look into it. Please tell me you found something. For the most part, we're just gonna be powering through the next 365 days. There aren't really any huge significant must-dos. Just a lot of let's continue and grow the habits that already exist. I do need to drink more water and get back on that plant nanny grind. 2023-year-old me, are you hydrated? But that's everything, I suppose. I would love to know your peaks and pits of the past year. If you feel comfortable sharing, of course. I love taking these videos as an opportunity to touch base with the folks watching at home because there's a lot of silent viewers. There's a lot of new faces. So please feel free to tell me who you are, where you're from, why you're here, what goals do you have for 2023? What was your favorite moment of 2022? Spill the beans if you'd like. I check my comments every day. Thank you so much for sticking with me in 2022. I hope to see you in 2023. I hope you're excited for the new year. I hope that you're happy. I hope that you're comfortable. I hope that you're resting. And I hope that you're being patient with yourself, because surviving is already a big enough feat as it is. And as always, thank you for clicking, thank you for caring, and thank you for being nice. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Merry Christmas! Happy holidays!